What's up, you guys? So we're here from OneGlanceTrader.com, and welcome to week 11 of me trading the options wheel strategy on Riot blockchain. And if you're brand new to this series, you can click the link down below, which has the full playlist of all the 10 episodes so far, where you can see week by week me documenting on how I'm trading the wheel strategy on this particular stock. So in this video, we're going to go through what happened at the end of week 10, where did I close out my covered call, and the new covered call placed for this week expiring this Friday. So if you like the sound of that, make sure you smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe, because I'll be doing weekly updates on this particular stock until I eventually sell my 100 shares at either my cost basis or at a profit, depending on what happens to the stock. So just to kind of recap, I was selling cash secured puts, which is the first part of the wheel strategy. So you sell puts below the current price. And I did get assigned in week 4 100 shares at a strike of $33.50. So I own 100 shares, as you can see on the right hand side, of 3,350. Now, since week 4, from week 5 onwards, I've now been doing the second part of the wheel strategy, which is selling covered calls. So that is, I'm willing to sell my 100 shares of Riot at X strike price at X expiration. So as you can see, my strike prices have all been bar 1 week, which was week 8. Which was above or at my current cost basis. So if I did sell my shares, I'll be getting my full investment back, or potentially making appreciation on the shares because I sold the shares for a higher price than I purchased them. So that's the current situation where we are. And then just to close out week 10, you guys will remember from last week's video is that I sold a covered call at a strike price of 35 for $34 in premium, which is just above 1%. And you know, you guys remember from last week's video, I was quite bullish on Riot. I thought Riot was going to get to, the 35, 36, 37, and we'll go into Bitcoin's chart in a second. But Bitcoin has effectively sold off over the last week and a half, which then, as Riot kind of mirrors Bitcoin's pricing, because it's closely related and correlated, being a crypto mining stock, it has also fallen as well. So what I did was, on Friday, I didn't decide to roll the option, because as you can see, I've generally been I've been rolling every Friday. I let the option expire worthless because I expected Riot to pick back up on Monday, which it did, which I'm thankfully I didn't, because as you can see on week 11, I managed to pick up $20 premium, which was a 0.6% return on my initial 3.35k. But on Friday, the net credit I would have received would have been about $11. So, it did pick back up on the Monday, and we'll look at the chart in a second. But I'm glad I didn't roll it on Friday, and I did let it expire worthless. So overall, I did lower the cost basis. I did lower my strike to 34, which is still higher than my current cost basis, just in case Riot did pop. But we're now Wednesday morning UK time, and this option actually expires on the 29th. That's actually a mistake, which is this Friday. And as you can see now, Riot has slightly dropped even further down to 28.44. So this Riot, unless something really happens with Bitcoin in the next couple of days, Riot is not closing at $34. So this option will expire worthless, but more than likely I'll probably roll this out depending on Friday, depending on what happens. But the good thing is I've been making 1% and 0.6% over the last 2 weeks because of the increase in Bitcoin making new all-time highs. So, still bringing money through the door, $264 now at just under 8% return. And if we look at the right, the current price is 28.44. We know my cost basis is 33.50. My unrealized at the moment is sitting at $500, and my break even. So what my break even is my current cost basis at 33.50 minus all the premium that I've received, makes my break-even price at 30.86. So what that basically means is if the price of Riot is at or above 30.86, I can close out the trade and I can give back some of my premium to free up my investment back again. So I've not made money, I've not lost money on this particular trade. All I'm doing is giving back my $264. That's not my plan. My plan is to obviously wait until Riot gets to 34, 35, etc., which I'm confident it will do, especially when Bitcoin retests those highs. So if we look at Bitcoin first, as you can see, it topped out at 66,999, so nearly at 67. And as you can see, the previous all-time highs were over here, so it broke that and then started to again come back down. And hopefully, this is just a short-term pullback in the long-term direction of where we think it can, get to 67, 68 thousand and beyond. So it's this element here which has caused Riot to kind of sell off and drop off again in this particular area. And as you can see, I've adjusted my break even down to the 30.86, and it got to highs on of how much was that, 32.83. So not at my cost basis, but thereabouts. I'll love to have sold a cover call at that particular area. But you can also see here on the Monday, you can see on the Friday we closed at 28.25, and then it went to highs of 30.42. So I think it was just around the $30 mark I managed to place that covered call. And I was picking up peanuts on Friday, so I'm glad I waited. But pretty much that gap up has been filled, and now we're going back and testing those kind of Friday's lows at the moment. And you can see the pre-market is again slightly down by like 0.5. No, it's definitely not 0.5%. But yeah, just a few cents below in terms of where it is. So there's no real trend at the moment, as you can see on Riot, especially on the 4 hour. We've got our solid lines that I'm quite comfortable with in terms of strong resistance areas, at the 25 level, our support areas, sorry, and strong resistance areas at this kind of 30, 38 level. So we are kind of in the middle, probably more towards the upper band than the lower band. If Riot does get back to test these lows, I would be selling puts at this level, because I'd rather pick up another contract to reduce the overall cost basis. So I've talked about this a few times in the last 10 weeks or so about doing another put, and potentially investing more money to bring down the cost basis, to make more premium, because I'll make money on the cash secured put, and then if I did get assigned, I would have two contracts on this particular stock, so 200 shares. Therefore, my covered calls are still making $20 a week. I'll be making $40 a week. So from a percentage perspective, it doesn't make that much difference, because it'll still be around 0.6%, for example. But in absolute terms, I'll be making more dollars because I'll have more shares invested in this particular stock. So like I said, I'm still quite comfortable. I was very bullish in the way I was talking in the last video. It probably put me down to reality for a little bit. But again, I've got no issue with where this is. I'm happy to pick up between 0.5% and 1% a week, assuming that Riot consolidates around this particular area. And just keep watching that premium coming in through the door. 7.8% return in 10 weeks. There's not many investment vehicles that can allow you to do that as well. And Riot comes up on all the scanners in terms of high premiums and things like that. So again, my cost basis is quite high. I can make some good percentage of return on cash secured puts, but at this current point in time, it's not looking until it gets down to that, what was it, the 25, 26 level. If it gets to 26, I'll start selling some cash secure puts on that piece there, and then we'll see what happens as time goes on. So if you're interested in learning with me in terms of in my private options group at the moment, where the team are very actively looking at Riot at the moment, and if you're very interested, it's the first link inside the description. If you want to join me, learn from me, and see what I'm doing on a weekly basis. So I hope you enjoyed this video. There'll be some thumbnails on there for various other option trading stuff here, so you guys can learn a bit more about me and about options trading, and I should see you guys in the next video.